Peace everybody, welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today I'm going to preview this Saturday's boxing action, in which we have a lot going on. We're actually going to split it into two different videos. I'm going to cover the Danny Garcia versus Brandon Rios fight that's going on Showtime, and on the undercard of that, we've got David Benavidez versus Ronald Gavril in a rematch that they fought late last year. Rob is going to cover the World Boxing Super Series fight between George Groves and Chris Eubank Jr., and also the Devin Alexander versus Victor Ortiz fight that's actually going down this weekend as well. I think he's also going to talk about the Raimundo Beltran fight in which he's fighting. I got my computer here pulling the Rob, which is pretty handy actually. Anyway, Paulus Moses, that's who Beltran's fighting. And on that card, you got Shakur Stevenson fighting. You got Bryant Jennings fighting. So that's a pretty good card. This is on ESPN, which is actually tonight. This video is coming out on Friday. But you'll see those videos all together. And so I'm going to get into the Showtime card, which is happening tomorrow night. So first off, I'm going to start with Gavril and Benavidez, and then go on to the main event in Garcia and Rios. So with the Benavidez and Gavril fight, you got a rematch. Like I said, they fought to a decision in the last fight that Benavidez got. A lot of people felt it was a lot closer because Gavril was able to take over later on in the fight after Benavidez came out and put a lot of early rounds in the bank. But he wasn't getting out after firing, and so Gavril was able to start countering him after his volleys and even drop him later on in the fight. And honestly, I'm thinking that we're going to see the exact same fight. Benavidez might be able to do a little bit more as far as getting out after he's done with his own volleys, and he does enough to get a more convincing decision this time around. Gavril's definitely going to be game. He's still going to find his opportunities because Benavidez is very young. He is a headstrong guy. He likes to get in there. He likes to bang. He likes to throw to the body with deadly efficiency. His left hook is very mean, especially when he throws it to the body. But as you saw in his match with Rogelio Porky Medina, he has excellent hand speed as well. That's very underrated. Like, his knockout of Medina came from like an 8-punch combination that was very swift, and I don't see him having those opportunities with Gavril, but he can use that hand speed advantage and take what he learned from the late rounds of their first fight to secure a more convincing victory this time. And that's what I think is going with that one. As far as the Brandon Rios versus Danny Garcia match, this one has a lot of question marks. Garcia's been off since losing to Keith Thurman back in March of last year. Brandon Rios had one comeback fight after losing to Tim Bradley against Aaron Herrera, and that was back in I want to say it was like July or August of last year. Let me pull that up real quick just to make sure. And so with Rios, we got a guy who we pretty much know what's going to happen. He's coming forward, he's throwing punches, and he's not the most powerful guy. He likes to wear guys down with attrition. So he will more so keep a high pace with high contact, and we all know defensively he is no wizard. He does a few subtle things that he can do to take a little bit of steam off your punches, but he's not doing anything super cute in there. So most guys, he gets you into a firefight, and because for the most part he has a very good chin, we've only seen him hurt very rarely. And it was very odd to see him hurt, rocked, and stopped by Tim Bradley, who is someone who's not known as a puncher. He claims he was, highly overweight and out of shape for that fight. And that may be the case because in his fight versus Herrera, which I have up here now, is in June, he was able to withstand a lot of punishment, and Herrera threw some very big bombs at him, and he was able to take them well. So he's going to need that versus Garcia, who has a lot of power in his punches, has a devastating left hook from which he's hurt just about everyone he's fought with. And his ability to push the pace is going to be needed as well, because we haven't really seen Danny Garcia push to the point where his stamina has ever really been in question. No one's ever really tried to just be in his face all night. Keith Thurman used a lot of movement. Zab Judah was able to post a rally against him, but it was still from a tactical range where he wasn't in Garcia's face. He was able to start countering him. He was able to use hand speed. This is a totally different monster when we're talking about Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios, like I said, he isn't the fastest guy. He isn't the most defensively sound guy, but he's in your face and he's making you beat him off of you. And if you don't have the stamina to do so, you will eventually wear out and succumb to his pressure and his punches and be stopped in that manner. So with this one, I'm thinking that Garcia is going to pull this one out. Like I said, he's got that left hook that has gotten him out of a lot of trouble. He has very good timing in which he knows how to punch with his opponents very well. And that is where he scores most of his telling blows, is his ability to punch in between someone's punches, or either beat them to the punch or punch immediately after they're done. Keith Thurman smartly was able to scout this and punch and get out, knowing that that left hook counter was coming. But like I said, Brandon Rios, not to sound like a broken record, trying not to, but he's not going to be defensively sound as Keith Thurman to make that happen to where he's going to be able to get out of the way. So I see him catching a lot of those left hooks, and probably one too many, getting hurt and getting stopped. Garcia says he thinks he's going to do it in 6 to 8 rounds. I think maybe 9 to 10. Garcia has shown very good stamina so far in his career, and I don't see any reason that he'll have a lot of trouble from Rios. He can move when he needs to, as we saw versus Lucas Matisse, where he was able to thoroughly outbox him. And he's done well in spots like against Lamont Peterson. He did a little bit of good work, and there have been a few others. But I think the skill difference between Rios and Garcia is going to be vast enough to where you see it in the ring, and Garcia is going to be able to showcase his skills and keep himself in that top tier welterweight conversation. So that's it, guys. Short and sweet. Try to give you, a lot of technical points in there and not go too in depth with it. Hit me up in the comment section. We can go even more in depth. Make sure you subscribed if you haven't done so yet. You'll catch Rob's videos later on today. I also have a UFC recap, UFC 221 that just happened this past Saturday. You can see that as well. Hit us up on all of our social media platforms. Those links are going to be down below also. And until then, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Round one and you already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
The Black Street Fighter.